Hello, hello. How do you do, sir?
Hello, hello,
It has been
Miss.
quite some time now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's been quite a while actually since our last recording session
Yes,
at
sir. What year was
Debonair.
that approximately?
Well,
Yeah, that's right. At Debonair.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
quite a
I
while.
think
A
that was
couple of
somewhere
years ago.
like 21, 22, somewhere. No, longer than that. But it's in there.
Okay, okay. But how have you been, sir?
Okay, I've
Wonderful.
been pretty good. Just constantly playing, been working,
That's right.
working.
That's right. You're a musical virtuoso, sir. And that is for
Well,
sure.
mhm.
So
I like this little
let's
box.
begin. You like the little. So let's begin by first
Hmm.
you telling the people exactly who you are, sir.
Well, the name is Robert Carter, but I'm better known as Hi Hat. I've been a bassist for various groups for nearly 52 years, and
Okay.
among that into writing, composing, arranging songs.
And you're extremely computer savvy as well.
No, I'm
Ladies and
computer
gentlemen,
savvy.
for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a genius. And actually, we went to the same school,
I wouldn't call myself that.
and
Mm, mm,
man, this guy is a genius. He doesn't have to call himself that, but I'm calling him that because
mm,
I've been knowing him
mm.
for years. Far as our
Since
background, you know, uh,
2003, 2003 to be
to,
exact.
that's when, yep, that's when I first went, solo, independently,
Hmm.
and before then, I first met Phyllis. I believe I was about 15 years old when I first met
Yeah.
Phyllis. And
Hmm.
I had been hearing about you through the grapevine, and she kept
Hmm.
telling me, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody named Robert. He lives right up the street. He lives right up the street. And I was waiting for the day. A couple of years later had passed, and a couple of things transpired within her personal life. And eventually one day
Right.
my father introduced me to you. And
Right.
it was quite an experience. So tell the people, uh, what inspired you to become a musician, and how old exactly were you when you began your musical journey, far as you
Well,
having a
it
background?
to go back of what to go back what inspired me was
Okay.
those. I think with any musician during my time were those five brothers from out of Gary, Indiana. I don't have to say their name, but you know who they are. A- And it just so happened they appeared on the Ed. I probably was like one of many that were watching the Ed Sullivan show when they appeared on there.
Okay. Okay.
And I said, just looking, I'm like, oh my gosh. And to be honest with you, originally I thought it was a girl group because I had
Wow.
never seen them.
Hmm.
And so when they appeared, I'm like, oh, it's guys. Oh, it's a kid singing. That's it. But I'm looking at Jermaine and I'm watching him. I said, I can do that. About a few years later, I wound up picking up actually a guitar to take up lessons through my mother that my mother had taken me to, and took only two lessons. And my instructor had told me I had perfect pitch,
Okay.
which is I can memorize a note, I can hear it and tell you what it is, recognize the note, and play it back to you. But after a while, like I said, only two lessons. I wound up. They wanted me to start over, so I switched over to bass
Okay.
and started playing from there. That was in about late 70s.
So you
So by
started
the
out
time,
on
se-
so not to cut you off, I apologize, but you started off
mhm.
on an acoustic, or was it a lead? Because you said they switched you back
It was
over
an
to
acoustic
bass.
guitar. Yeah, it was a little
Okay.
cheap Kingston acoustic guitar, and
Okay.
then I was able to afford to get get a bass actually, Kent bass,
Okay.
and was playing around with that around 73, August of 73. One of my old classmates from high school was playing drums in a band, and their bass player had just left. And so actually their guitar player left, so causing their bass player to switch over to guitar. So they needed a bass
Okay.
player to take over.
Okay.
So that's how they got me.
Wow. Wow.
And it was
Wow.
from that,
Wow.
from me joining this band, is how I got my nickname.
Okay. And what was the name of this band, if you don't mind me asking?
The band was originally called Peace, Love, and Happiness, and it was only
Okay.
5 pieces. And
Okay.
later over the years, we went from 5 pieces to 7 pieces, and then finally ending up with 10 pieces. And
Wow.
jokingly, I said this group reminds me of Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I jokingly called the group East Wind,
Oh, yeah,
and it
right.
stuck.
Right. Okay. Okay. That is fabulous, man. That is fabulous. And so when you finally got into production, because you do have a production company as well, and it is called
Yeah,
H2
I didn't
Row.
get into production. Mhm. Well, it's no longer called that now.
Okay.
It's changed over the hands. And after my mother's passing, I named it Geneva Recording in her
Wow.
memory,
Wow.
which is her middle
Wow.
name.
Okay. Okay. So who was the very first artist or the very first band that you had the experience to do a full studio session with?
At the time, there was two groups. Actually, one was an artist and one was a group. The artist was a gentleman by the name of Ron Hatcher, who
Okay.
now resides in Georgia. And
Okay.
we were doing a solo project for him, me and the lyricist, a gentleman by the name of Harvey Lee.
Okay.
We wound up working with them. And then later on, we ran across a 5-man vocal group, young guys who were similar to New Edition or the group Troop, and they were called the Fellas. And we were
Okay.
bouncing between them and them,
Okay. Okay.
and that went
And
about around about 87.
okay. Okay. So it was quite a run. Did you hear me?
Okay. I seem to
Could you hear
be
me?
no, I'm losing. No, I'm losing you
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry. So I said, so there was
Yeah, you
quite a
kind of.
run with that group.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
During that time from 87 to about 88, 88, 89, they did pretty well, but not so great. But during that time in '86, I was working with another gentleman. Uh, Actually, there were two people we were trying to write for. One of them was a gentleman you might remember, by the name of Howard Johnson, and Howard's
Oh,
from out of
absolutely.
Miami. Yeah, everybody
Absolutely.
knows Howard from his song "So Fine," and he was the original vocalist on the song that was originally known as Jam Song, which was later redone by its writer as Jam
Right.
Tonight. And I'm referring
Okay.
to Freddie Jackson.
Right, right. Okay. So your resume is beautifully decorated, and you've worked with so many artists and musicians and vocalists, even down to rappers. So
Oh yes.
if you don't mind, sharing with the people, you know, many of the greats and many of the people that you've worked with, go ahead right now. Feel more than
You
welcome
know,
and more than free to do so, sir.
many of the people I've worked with over the years, some have been just up and coming and trying to start their own, including yourself.
Right.
And among those, like I said, Howard Johnson. My first national first song I ever had that was recorded under a major label was with him. It was called Midnight Lady, and it was from his
Okay.
album Johnson and Branson.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
later on I wound up writing some other stuff for a few people like Donna Allen, um, um, Joey Gilmore, who was a legendary blues man for South
Right.
Florida,
I was listening to
wound up
him earlier
doing some
today, as a
production
matter
for
of fact.
uh, another lady by the name of Marcia Mitchell, who
Hmm.
I had a track with her called "What Do You Feel."
Okay.
Mm, it just goes on. It kind of goes on and on. I'm
Oh
still
yeah.
looking for
Oh
that
yeah.
major hit.
For sure. For sure. Okay. Okay. So, what are you doing nowadays? What's keeping you going? Like what have you been doing lately, far as shows and collaborations, etc.
Well, presently I'm a freelance musician,
Okay.
as you know, but right now I serve as a bassist and music director for a group called the Motowners, which
Okay.
is often part of the series called The Magic of Motown. So I've been with them a little over 5 years now playing.
Okay. Okay. And you were between Joey and them, right? If I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I was between them uh, until it got really hectic, and then I had to leave Joey before for working with the Motowners.
Okay.
And I
So
played with a few others, like I said, since then.
okay. So tell us about the amazing trip that you just recently took with the group and you played. Tell them about that and let us know how things
I
went with
didn't
that.
catch that there.
Tell us if you don't mind telling us about the recent
Okay.
trip that you took, because you were doing what, like a mini tour?
Yeah. Well, recently we were in Atlanta this past Thursday at the
Okay.
playing at the center stage in Atlanta.
Okay.
We did that. That was on last Thursday, and then this past Saturday we were in Jacksonville at the Terry Theater.
Okay. Okay. And there was
So
there was
yeah,
another
we
there was
we got
another
some
show
more
that you
coming up
did.
now.
Okay, there was another show that you recently did too. It was overseas somewhere, right? Was it
You're
like
kind
in
of breaking up there.
Canada? There was another
No,
show that you did. Can you hear me now?
there was another show I did with the Motowners. That was last July, August. We did North Carolina area of Raleigh in Greensboro, then heading
Okay,
down to Georgia. We did
okay.
Augusta, Duluth, and Columbia,
So, so they're
Columbus.
keeping
I'm
you
sorry,
busy for
Columbus.
sure.
Yeah, they're
Columbus.
keeping me
Okay,
busy.
Columbus,
Yeah,
Georgia.
we
That's great.
did in January we did a show in Anguilla, which is in the British
That's right.
Virgin Islands.
Right. That's the show in
We
particular that I was
yeah.
talking about.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful, man. That is wonderful. Okay. So I asked you that already. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, yeah, man. So what's next? What are you working on, next? Are you working on a solo album, or are
Mm,
you producing? You said that you're producing someone now.
yeah, I'm
So
working.
so what do you have planned for the future?
Well, right now I plan to finish off what I'm set to do. I'm doing a project with a young lady that has been in the business for years by the name of Pamela Williams,
Okay,
and she's
okay,
part of formerly of a group. I just finished doing a project on her,
okay,
and I'm not finished yet. We still have ways to go to come up with some things,
okay,
but
okay,
we're trying to finish that up. And then
okay.
then I have some other stuff that a young gentleman by the name of Jared Holloway. I'm trying to get him to do some of my music, add some lyrics,
Okay.
and see what he can come up
Gr-
with.
Great. So, if there was a word of advice that you could give to anyone, an aspiring artist, an aspiring musician, you know, what would you tell them about uh, them wanting to, become a musician professionally, going full
Hmm.
time? And you're an individual that this is all I've ever known you to do.
Yeah,
And I told you a couple of months
but
ago, I was like, man, I really respect your craft, man,
mhm.
because no matter what's going on in life, you always seemed, to just be a musician. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a
well,
musician.
well, William, there is more to me than that because I've had a background in broadcasting for 11 years,
Yeah, you did.
working
Yeah,
for a
I
radio,
remember that.
working at I was a morning show producer at WAXY
Okay.
under the late Rick Shaw and a few other people that I
Okay.
had wind up working with. That
Okay.
and that kind of helped me get my production chops a little bit to get
Right.
an idea of how I was doing. There have
Okay.
been I've worked with computers quite a deal. My
Right.
I've been the software that I even work with is something I started working with back when it was uh, which is Logic Pro. I started out working with Atari with when Logic was
Wow.
originally Notator, and
Oh,
then
wow.
later and then when it evolved into Logic Pro, Logic Platinum, I went with it, and then things were changing, and then Apple purchased the company that made Logic, and I chose to stay with what I was working with until 2021. And I said, you know what? I got to go with what I know best. And so I've been working with Logic ever since, and I've gone back now.
But mainly everything that you have done was it was based or centered around music, though.
Yeah, always in some
You
form.
see,
I mean, my radio background, I'm still close to music. Computers, and still some way, I'm still close to music. You know.
exactly. And that's something that I was saying that I really respect
Mhm.
you. I really respect you for that matter because you never seemed to waver or to become distracted. If there was a brief or a slight distraction, you managed to always
You
make
wouldn't
it
know it.
about what you were most right. You were most
Yeah,
all I know you for is being passionate about music. And to my understanding, also, you have
music.
yeah, you also have a bass guitar that you named Lucille, also, right?
No, I don't have a Lucille in my. I have the one that I always played was a 6 string Washburn, uh,
Okay.
which I named Ruby. I had I mean,
Okay.
sorry, named Miss B,
Miss
and
B.
which I
That's
named
it.
after a long departed friend of mine now gone. And I have several other guitar, 6 to be exact, and 6 basses, 2 guitars, and still do my keyboard work.
Okay. And what brands are they? So are they all Washburns?
Uh, I understand you there.
I said, are they all Washburns?
No. Um,
We lost him. He'll be back. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this content. He should be back momentarily, you guys. There he is. Let me click him in, chime him in.
we're coming back.
Yes, we are back. I don't know what
We got
happened.
back. Yeah. It
Okay.
was
Okay.
aliens.
There's a possibility. But my question, we kind of got off course, but the question, you know, continue naming the guitars
I
that you
do this a lot. It's plenty good.
have. Okay.
I'm also known for I'm also known for doing character voices and stuff. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So you said you have the Washburn, two guitars, and they are all like, what are the brands?
the Washburn, the 6 string, uh,
Okay.
3 5 strings. One's a Schecter. Um, one is a Schecter bass. Another one is a Sterling Music Man, and the Court Turbo, which I had the designer sign the back of the neck. I also
Okay.
have 2 4 strings. Uh, one's a Sterling Music Man, and one is a original Music Man.
Wow. Wow.
So I
So
really have six in
which
all.
so which is the one that you're in the thumbnail with? Which piece of equipment is that one? What brand is that one in the photograph? We lost him again. He'll be back. Probably an issue with the Wi-Fi. Be sure once again to like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, but this guy right here is incredible. I've been knowing him for multiple years. And when I really first began a professional career, well, I started when I was about 15 years old. But my very first studio engineer, the relationship that I've ever had with an engineer was with this gentleman right here that we're speaking with, or that we're talking to, or that I'm talking to, and that you're watching. Let's see what's going on. Hopefully, he'll chime back in momentarily. There he is. What happened? Wi-Fi
Uh,
signal?
I, yeah, we got that. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay,
but
okay,
we're back.
okay. Great, great. So before we got off course, or before we got off the topic, I was asking
Hmm.
you, you know, what exactly would you tell someone as words of encouragement and also some enlightenment about becoming, professional musicians or aspiring, songwriters and vocalists in the industry. What advice would you give to them?
For me, I do not stay locked in one genre, and that's something I've always done as a musician. I've
Right.
always tried to go for not go for the next sound, but try to adapt to many sounds. Because if you just lock yourself into one genre, you kind of shortchange yourself the opportunities. Being a musician, you should be able to play all styles, all types. For me as a songwriter, I never give up on what I'm doing. I'm always listening to what's out there and trying to come as close, come what songs or what sounds would fit it or what grooves. Always try.
Yes, sir.
There's a thing where I've always said I try to be true to the groove.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and that's what you need to do as in anything. Try to be true to what you do.
For sure. For sure. I totally agree. I totally agree with what you said. So, is there any, you know, uh, music links or any websites, etc., that you would like to share with the audience that's watching, sir?
Well, if you go to Reverb Nation and look under H2RO, that's H2O, you will find some of the tracks that I've done over the years.
Okay. So all of the recent stuff and some of the things from the
Yeah,
past.
some of the past stuff.
Okay. And
Just little snippets of what I do.
okay. And what other websites, is that the only one that you're currently using
That's
at the
about the
time?
only that's about the only one that I use to drop in
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. So when do you think that we'll have another studio session again? Because I sent you
Mm,
I requested the email address for you.
mhm.
I don't know if you saw that or not, but the last song that we worked on, I was gonna send
Yeah,
that to
which
you,
was
the
which
MP3.
was the which was Distant Lover.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct. I was trying to
hmm
send it over to you. I don't know if you saw that or not.
No, I haven't had a chance to see it. You email? Did you email it?
No, I was going to email it to you. I made a request to email it over
hmm
to you. So you'll have a copy
hmm
of it. And if you want someone else to listen to it, etc., you know, I
Excuse,
can send it over to
excuse
you.
me for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stifle sneeze. Well, I sneezed them
so
away.
so, with that being said, it was an honor and a pleasure having you here with me, Mr. Robert Hi Hat Carter, the one and the only. You know what I mean? This guy, like I said before, guys, this man is
Mhm.
amazing. And we've been knowing each other for quite some time. You can pretty much say that he raised me, in the studio,
Hey, you might want to turn off your
And
vocoder.
the vocoder might want to turn it off, huh? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're coming in and out.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second. What about now?
It's getting there.
How about now?
That's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There was a slight delay. I apologize for that. But like I said, this is an amazing guy. He pretty much raised me in the studio. He was the very first engineer with the experience that I've never come into anyone, with that type of experience. And I was just a pup, you know. He's dealt with many of the greats and many, wonderful musicians that came even before me. And like I said, he raised me in the
Mm.
studio, and we were there every day. I can only tell you, I can only begin to tell you how many times we had to go over a song due to technical issues constantly, 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 you know, and it was because of him. He went out again. He went out again. I don't know what's going on, guys. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, we lost him again. He'll come back, and I'm gonna make this short, and I'm gonna make this sweet. There he is. That was fast. Yeah,
We're
I'm
back
not
with
gonna
some
hold you very.
Black Soul.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you very much longer. But I just wanted
Hmm.
to say that it is a blessing, being able to know you and being able to have a relationship and bond with you, and also to know yeah, and also to know your family members or your mother, and your family, and you guys invited me into your
Yes,
home
sir.
as
That's
if I
right.
was one of your own, you know
Hmm.
and
I don't know
she
you.
your mother was such a sweet person.
Yes,
She
she.
was such a sweet lady,
Oh,
man.
yes, she
And
was.
oh yeah, and man, we really put in some work over the years,
Oh,
and
good grief.
for sure. And
Hmm.
we hopefully we get an opportunity to
We'll
work
do it
together
again.
again.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely,
Most
for
definitely.
sure. So, Mr. Carter, I really appreciate you coming by and
Why,
sitting with
sure,
us.
awesome will.
Yes, sir. And if you need anything, man, and just reach out to me. It won't be a big deal or whatever. I'll reply as soon as
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
And you know, thanks again for everything. When
Hey,
I say
my
everything,
pleasure,
man,
man.
thanks for
Keep
everything.
it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, keep it up.
I certainly will. And you do the same. And send me some
Okay.
more clips so I
I
can
will
share them
do
to the
that.
platform of your performances.
I will do
It was
that.
good talking to you, and you
Same
have a
here.
marvelous evening.
You too. We out.
Yes, sir. Peace.